y tener mi cultura y llevar mi cultura en alto. Of what's going on. Y ahorita viendo el avión así llegar a Los Ángeles.
Los bomberos mexicanos han demostrado su valentía y profesionalismo al ofrecer su ayuda en los devastadores incendios de California, ganándose el respeto y la admiración de los estadounidenses. Ahora, un grupo de gringos orgullosos ha salido en su defensa, enfrentándose a las críticas de Donald Trump y destacando la importancia de México como un aliado esencial en tiempos de crisis. ¿Qué fue lo que hicieron estos héroes mexicanos para ganar el corazón de sus vecinos del norte? Comenta la palabra gringos si crees que merecen la ayuda de los bomberos mexicanos. No olvides suscribirte y darle a like.
I can always tell by my face and the sound of my voice that I'm annoyed and I can't contain it. But let me get to it because I don't want to make this too long. I'm supposed to have a date night with my hubby. But one of our own, Coffee, sent me some videos of firefighters. Hold on, let me be clear. Mexican firefighters who have crossed the border to help California try to contain their fire. Right? And Claudia Scheinbaum is better than me. And I don't say this towards California specifically, but a bitch like me might tell them, let that bitch burn down. Because we're not good enough to be in your country. But I don't mean that about California. I really don't. Texas is a whole nother one, except for my people. But I digress. And here's the problem that I find with it. And it's a problem that we've had all throughout history, right? Is that you're not going to hear anybody on TikTok right now saying, send them home. Send them home. Get them the fuck out of our country. Send them home. Send them home. You're not going to hear that. Even for the bigots that live in California, they're not going to say that. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to break it down for you, right? It's always been like this throughout history. Think about it. If we go back to the atrocities of slavery in the United States, you got to remember, it was okay to raise their kids. It was okay to clean their house. It was okay to pick their cotton. It was always okay as long as they can use what we had to give. But when it came down to treating us humanely or to give us equal rights or equality, well, then now the problem comes in. Same thing with these Mexican firefighters. You're going to utilize them until we put out these fires, and none of you, even the bigots that live in California, none of you are going to protest about them being there. However, once the fire is contained, you're going to kick them. And that just angers me. It really just boils my blood. And the people that voted for him, let's not forget who they are. They're the same people that existed when they stole land from the Native Americans and then murdered them. They're the same people responsible for the 400 years of slavery here. They're the same people that were responsible for segregation and lynching. They're the same fucking people. This is just their era. And so every era looks a little bit different because now there's laws in place and there's only so much that they can do. But they're the same people. And the problem is that we continue to give them a pass. We continue to forget who they are. And so I'm just going to warn you that our children's children will go through this again, right? Because they are the same fucking people. And I mean that shit. They're the same people. And they're going to continue to do it all throughout history in the future because there is something innately cruel within them and their DNA that they can't possibly look at another human being and believe that they are the same. And so in present time, they're not picking cotton, but they pick all your fruit. Same people you're trying to kick out of the country. Ones that source your food. But we're going to forget that, right? Until our food source is threatened or scarce. And so this is what I say to my community. I know what I'm going to do. The few that I know are not like that, I'm going to keep close to me. Everybody else, I'm not going to forget who you are. I am never going to forget who you are. And listen, when this administration is done and this president is done and the next president comes in and they're trying to clean up what was done these 4 years, I'm still not going to forget that you voted for him. Even when he dies and he's no longer president, because he's going to die, just so that you know, he is 78 years old.
78 años tiene, sí.
He one day will die. I am still not going to forget that you voted for him.
While our Mexican people in the United States of America are getting picked up by ICE, Mexico has just sent their firefighters to Los Angeles to help con todos los incendios, with all the fires. Tell me how all of that makes sense. And without naming any names, Mexico sends all of their worst. Well, sir, I hope that you can take that back, because sin Mexico, where would you be right now? Pero vengo de papás mexicanos, therefore I have both cultures. And I have always been so proud de ser mexicana y tener mi cultura y llevar mi cultura en alto. And now more than ever, I am so proud to see Mexico sending their best people to come help for the LA fires. And this also brings me back to just a month ago, driving around the Palisades area, driving around the Santa Monica area, driving around Malibu area, all areas I love. And I will never forget all the racist comments I heard about Mexicans go back to your country, all the racist signs that were posted in different parts, all the racist comments from people. Cómo los papeles se voltean. And this is such a heartbreaking. Tengo tantos sentimientos encontrados because I am from here, but I'm also from over there. Y no saben el orgullo que siento por dentro de ver a mi gente aquí, like I just said. And then it makes me angry at the fact that so many people say so many bad things de los mexicanos, and they generalize like all Mexicans are the same. And it's so crazy that they're here now to help. Qué momentos. I truly never imagined in my life. Yes, we go through wildfires every single year. Every single year. Pero jamás habían visto algo así. I am still in shock. I have been able to just step outside for a bit, but because I do have really bad asthma, I have chronic asthma since I was born, I cannot even really be outside for that reason. But I am trying to do as much as possible to help, donating and things like that. But it truly breaks my heart of what's going on. Y ahorita viendo el avión así llegar a Los Ángeles de México to help, it just really makes me think, why can't we always just get along like that? Why can't we just, in times of need, help each other? But no, right now, ICE is too busy trying to get our people out, while Mexico is busy trying to get their people in here to help. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but there's just so many emotions going on.
Apparently one of those scoopers was already hit by a drone, a Dior bag, I don't know. But thank you to all of Mexico. I love Mexico. All of my Mexican Americans, all my Latinos, El Salvadorians, you name it. Some of the hardest working people on this planet. We are very thankful that even though as ICE is potentially deporting some people, that they are still kind enough to send their firemen over here to help us in our time of need, because it is a time of need. We're dealing with it here. We've evacuated, and we are so thankful. I saw all these Mexican helicopters flying over, and I almost got a little, emotional, because it's so beautiful to see, people helping us out when we really need it. And Canadians, thank you guys. We really appreciate you. Americans, no matter what, our administration or leadership might say, we love you guys for helping Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of TikTok.
Mexico has sent firefighters to help the United States with the LA fires. Mexicans, listen up, because history is being made right now. The U.S. will later try and keep out of the history books. This is not the first time that Mexico has helped the U.S. It's needed it the most. And I bet that you don't know about this, especially if you're Gen Z. You need to know our history better than anybody else, because if we don't know our history, others will try and override us. Here are 3 other times that Mexico has come to the rescue. I've spoken about this before, but the Bracero program, a lot of our grandparents were part of the Bracero program. Mexicans were begged to come to the United States and help with the labor shortages that was happening during World War II. That is when the concept of migrants, of people, of Mexicans coming to the U.S. to work became a thing. During the gold rush, it was Mexican miners who had advanced techniques. And when we look at the movies and we see the people working with the pans, that was a technique that was brought by Mexicans. Not only did Mexico come and help the United States during labor shortages, but it also fought alongside the Allies during World War II. They were known the Aztec Eagles, and they fought alongside U.S. troops in the Pacific. This is all important because at the same time that we're seeing in real time Mexicans help the United States, we're also seeing how the United States government, especially this current administration, is treating migrants. And yes, Mexicans are wrapped up in this entire situation. It needs to be known. So send this video to all of your MAGA friends.
El clima de hoy está en alerta roja hasta las 6 de la tarde.
Que andamos de lumbreros salvaguardando la vida de los ciudadanos de Estados Unidos.
Partieron a California la mañana del sábado desde la base militar de Santa Lucía. En el aeropuerto de Los Ángeles los recibió el gobernador Newsom, que reiteró su agradecimiento al gobierno mexicano.
Esto es lo que hacen los amigos. De eso se tratan las relaciones. Amigos en necesidad que se ayudan mutuamente. Estamos increíblemente agradecidos de que la presidenta estuviera dispuesta a enviar a la tripulación que ven detrás de mí.
Los elementos